Dear students, welcome back. Now we are going to see the mandibular lateral deviation or lateral excursion. Okay, here in this, the mandible can move asymmetrically around either vertical axis or an anterior-posterior axis at one of the condyles. So the mandible can move asymmetrically. Normally both the condyles will move in a symmetrical way during the remaining motions, that is elevation and depression, whereas protrusion and retrusion. Whereas in the lateral deviation, here the mandible is moving asymmetrically. That means one condyle is moving in one axis and another one is moving in another way. Okay, here in this is the superior view of the mandible. This is the superior move of the mandible. Here the condyles, any one of the condyles may move either in a vertical axis or an AP axis. So vertical axis or AP axis. Okay, that means in moving around an vertical axis, here the vertical axis, one condyle spins. That means in the fossa itself, in the mandibular fossa itself, the condyle is going to spin, and another condyle it is going to translate. Forward. So for example, now we are going to take deviation towards the right side. So this is the normal mandible and here is the deviation. The pink color is the deviated mandible. Now we are going to see how it happens. So this is a right side deviation, for example. So the right side deviation includes the reason right side condyle should spin in the mandibular fossa, whereas the left side condyle is translating or gliding forward. The result is the movement of the center of the mandible. Is shifting towards the right side. Normally, the amount of lateral excursion of the joint is about 8 millimeters. Lateral excursion is about 8 millimeters. So, this is the rotation occurs in vertical axis. So if the movement taking place in the vertical axis, then in what plane the movement is taking place? Coronal plane. Okay, now we are going to see now in AP axis. So another asymmetrical movement is the rotation around the AP axis. So if the axis is AP, then the movement is taking place in the sagittal plane. So that means some opening and closing of the mouth is taking place in the sagittal plane, isn't it? So here in this asymmetrical movement, rotation is taking place around an antero-posterior axis. This also involves one condyle spinning, but whereas the other condyle is depresses, the other condyle depresses, it is not translating, the condyle is depresses, the condyle is depressing, somewhat downward movement taking place here. So one condyle spins and other condyle depresses. So the center of the mandible moving downward and deviating from the midline slightly towards the condyle spinning, towards the condyle spinning. So for example, if you take again right side condyle is spinning, the left side condyle depresses, and this the center of the mandible um, will come somewhat downwards and deviates slightly towards the spinning side. Okay, these two kinds of asymmetrical movements, these two types of asymmetrical movements or deviated motions or combined to use into a complex motion, which are used in chewing and grinding food, okay. This is about the mandibular lateral deviation. Okay, this is about the joint kinematics of the temporomandibular joint. In the next sessions, we are going to see how the muscles are helping in such kind of movements. Okay, thank you.